Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the cryptocurrency market today as the bulls fail to maintain the $49,700 level, causing today's daily candle to see a low of 42,000 US dollars within 50 bucks of our major level that we've had drawn out here for the last 90 days for those tuned into the Snipers channel. But more importantly, notice how this $42,000 level was the top here at the previous all-time high before we saw a consolidation. And notice now that we are testing this major previous resistance, which is now turning into a support level. And the biggest puzzle piece that we have on the table right now is the fact that Bitcoin right now, I'm sure this is not new news to you, is below the 20-week moving average on the weekly chart. And this is considered home base. This weekly candle has opened fully below the 20-week moving average at home base. Is this a sign of a potential reversal of the bullish trend? I want to talk about what's happening to Bitcoin, but more importantly, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite altcoins in the market right now, because the total cryptocurrency market has yet to come to this 20-week moving average. And that makes me assume that just because Bitcoin is seeing downside doesn't mean we're going to see downside in the whole market. But we do need to address the fact that we are starting to breach this 50-period moving average on the daily chart for the total cryptocurrency market cap. And then that's going to make us look into the others dominance chart, because we want to assume, are we still going to see upside with altcoins? And notice how we're still seeing strength. So we have a lot of puzzle pieces to talk about today. And notice how the S&P 500 has failed to get above the previous weekly open, and we're starting to see resistance here at the monthly open. And exactly as we talked about, if we were going to get above this, that would be the bullish confirmation, but we've yet to see that. We're still showing sideways price action. I want to address how this is going to affect the cryptocurrency market, because of course the traditional markets have a direct correlation with the cryptocurrency market, as we all saw in March 2020. You guys are watching the Snipers channel. My name is Naeem Al-Obeidi. If you appreciate this content, remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I first want to address what's happening to Bitcoin on the daily chart, because we failed to hold this $49,700 level. And I told you guys, if we were going to continue to close 4-hour candles below this major area, that was making us assume that we're going to see continued downside. And that's exactly what we saw with Bitcoin coming down, forming a candle low at the $42,000 level. And now we've come from the $58,300 to $49,700 channel, and we've breached the $44,800 to $49,700 channel. And now we're playing games at one of the most major and important levels for Bitcoin at 42,000, because this was the previous all-time high that we initially saw here at the start of the year before we saw altcoin season start, and we saw a consolidation, and Bitcoin's price topped out at 42,000 and then coming down all the way to the $29,000 level before seeing the run up to 60K. So this is an extremely important level. It is a previous all-time high that maintained itself for several months. From January of 2021 into February, we saw consolidation below 42,000. So if we come below 42,000, in my opinion, that is going to be the emergency for the Bitcoin price, and that could assume further downside, because we do have this 200-period moving average here on the daily chart. And it looks like Bitcoin wants to come and at least give it a taste and test that level. And we know that's below the $42,000 level. So if we are going to assume a bounce at any point, I believe that because we have all of these major levels sitting below the $42,000 level, if we see a confirmation of a hourly candle below 42,000 to start with, because everything morphs from the smaller time frames into the larger time frames, and then we start to see 4-hour candles close below 42,000, then we have to assume a potential retest of the $34,788 level. And we could potentially even see some volume start to come in around the $38,000 level. And really, what matters here is if we break 42,000, I believe the range we're going to get back in is the range we were in before Elon Musk announced he purchased Bitcoin, because we know that the fundamentals also have to take part and will affect the charts. And Elon Musk did confirm he hasn't sold any Bitcoin yet, but he has been creating a lot of stir in the market, announcing that Tesla has stopped accepting Bitcoin and his concerns with energy, of course. And so we have to address the fundamentals. They're just as important as the technicals. But I like to look at the charts, and at this point, we are testing this major level at 42,000. If we break below, we have to assume that we're going to start playing the game between the $34,800 level and the $44,800 level. And in my opinion, that could signal time for altcoins to start seeing momentum. So I'm not too concerned about altcoins as much as I am about Bitcoin, because we have to address the fact that we're below the 20-week moving average and the 50-period and 100-period moving average, and that is not garden variety market behavior in a bullish trend. And so expect sideways price action. As long as we are above 42,000, then I do believe we could potentially even come back and retest this monthly open at 58,300 at some point or another. I do believe that the real confirmation is going to be above the weekly open at 46,500. If we get above 46,500, because Bitcoin is sitting between 42,000, which we know we don't want to break that level, and it's also sitting between that weekly open at 46,500. And so with Bitcoin at $44,250 right now, what we really want to watch here is, are we going to come and start closing hourly in 4 hours below the $41,950 level, or are we going to start closing hourly in 4 hours above the weekly open at 46,500? If we do that, then we want to get above 49,700. If we breach that level, I believe we can see 58,300 again. So that's the upside and downside right now for Bitcoin. But this video is going to have a lot more information because I want to talk about altcoins. First, we'll quickly address what's happening to Ethereum. Of course, it looks like Ethereum wants to come down and test this monthly open sitting right at that $2,800 level. And at this point, we are below the weekly open and the previous weekly open. And so we have to address the bearish side right now, because we did see this push to the downside below the 3450 area, which we know is an important level, because when we broke that, we saw the new all-time highs. And so now that we're playing in this range, the monthly open is the next target to the downside at that $2,800 level. If we're able to get above 3,600, then we could potentially assume bullish action. A lot of that's going to have to do with what happens to Bitcoin, because the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart is not necessarily showing as much strength as it was earlier in the month. And of course, last month it was extremely strong, but we've yet to get above the previous weekly open, and we are maintaining price action right now below the weekly open, testing this major ascending support level on the 4-hour chart. And so that could assume sideways price action between the 65,000 Satoshi and 82,400 Satoshi area, and that would maybe allow Ethereum to perform the same way Bitcoin is performing. But I do believe altcoins are still extremely valuable right now, because we look at the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, we're seeing a whole different picture, and we need to address this. So right now, we are testing this 50-period moving average on the daily chart. Yes, this is a puzzle piece on the table, but we have to keep in mind that this chart can come down if Bitcoin's price starts to come down. But if the others' dominance chart starts to show more strength, because we're seeing a lot of buy pressure here when it comes to volume, then no matter what Bitcoin does, we could see a decoupling effect and outperformance with altcoins, because Bitcoin dominance is still showing weakness, and I believe we can still head towards that 35% dominance level. We are sitting at 40% and really testing that at that point or right now. And so we want to keep this in mind. And I do want to talk about one of the altcoins that I'm personally starting to dollar cost average into, and I want to start a series just for altcoins, but I just want to kind of add this into this video for now. This is not a paid sponsorship. This is all based on pure analysis that I've done. This is an altcoin that I believe has a lot of potential. And first, I want to go to DeFiStation.io. This is like the DeFi Pulse for Binance Smart Chain. We know that the third layer solutions on Ethereum right now are showing a lot of popularity, like the Binance Smart Chain, because of the high gas fees on the Ethereum network. And so I want to assume that we're going to continue to see growth when it comes to these third layer solutions until Ethereum 2.0 comes out, or if Cardano starts to gain momentum. And so one of my favorite altcoins right now is Auto Farm, which is like the Yearn.finance of Binance Smart Chain, where you could yield farm using Venus, PancakeSwap, and all of these other applications. But what I really like about this coin is, notice how it's only at a $61.5 million market cap. It's in the top 7. It has over $1.5 billion locked into its smart contracts. And I actually did a lot of research on this. I went through the Discord when they first started around February, late January. It's one developer who has reputation in the community already from other projects. And it was amazing to see how he grew this community so fast from the end of January 2021 into February. And all he did was he took a already successful concept like Yearn.finance, which we know already came above 70,000 US dollars at one point. If we look at the Yearn.finance chart, this is the Ethereum version of Auto Farm. And so you can see we topped out here at 95,000 US dollars. And the reason we see this is because these coins have very low supply and they also are deflationary. And if you look into Auto Farm, it's been audited. It's a deflationary token, and everyone that yields on the platform continues to burn tokens through their fees, which they don't take, they dedicate towards burning. And the coolest part about this is notice how there's 56,000 people holding this in comparison to some of the top 5 where there's only 8,000, 39,000, 38,000. So more people are holding Auto right now than Venus. And the other part about Auto that I like is the branding. Auto, it's just good branding. 56,000 people are holding it. You want distribution amongst many wallets, and they do plan to release a DAO soon as well. And so the other part about Auto Farm is I was using Auto Farm before they even released swaps, and they had a timeline in place, and they've met all of their timeline deadlines. And I think it's because it's just one very focused developer who has a lot of reputation. And so the current price is at 2,400. I like this a lot. It's a low market cap in a very, very, hot area of DeFi, and it has a lot of distribution amongst holders. And when we look at the technicals, right, because I'm a technical analyst, notice how it's just kind of chilling right now. And that's when you want to get into altcoins, right? The best traders enter their position when it comes to swing trades when nobody is trading that asset, right? It's when nobody wants it. And so the fact that we're below the monthly and weekly open, I just believe that we're going to see further upside for a deflationary token like this. If we look at coin market cap, it's also in the top 600. It's not even in the top 500 yet, and it's already got over $1.5 billion locked in its vault. So why is it ranked 643? To me, it's just a no-brainer. This is a very amazing protocol. And notice how the supply here, there's only 14,600 tokens, or the max supply is 80,000, but the circulating supply is currently at 15,000 because they burn tokens. So it has volume, and I believe Binance added it to their platform because of their revolutionary technology in the Binance Smart Chain area, and because I don't believe the developer paid Binance to get this listing. I really believe because they recently listed it, and I saw this project from the start. So I just want to throw that out there. If you guys appreciate these type of videos, then show your love in the comments below. Let me know what altcoins you guys are watching. And so notice here at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, we're just seeing a lot of buy volume here and a lot less sell pressure, and it's just chilling here. We're looking at the daily chart. We've yet to see even any moving averages form on this chart because it's such an early release, but we are below some of these 6-hour moving averages. I like that. It's just kind of chilling here, and once the liquidity comes in, once people start realizing, okay, the fundamentals on-chain analysis here is good, I believe projects like this will do very well. My next altcoin I'll cover is Maker. We're seeing a lot of growth with the revenue. I'll talk about that. If you guys really appreciate this type of content, I want to hear from you so that I can get an understanding. So I do want to talk about what's happening here to traditional markets before we wrap up this video. So the DXY, we are seeing some weakness here below the previous weekly open and the weekly open. I told you guys, if the DXY does start to really collapse and see a lot of volatility, then that also is not good for assets that are priced in the US dollar form, right? Because 70% of all global transactions and global trade uses the US dollar. And so it's important to watch the value here. We've yet to come and test this 100 period moving average again, and we are below home base here at the 20-week moving average, so the print is bullish. The bulls failed to get this weekly candle last week to touch this 20-week moving average, similar to what Bitcoin is doing right now. We really want to see Bitcoin get back to this 20-week moving average if we want to assume any further upside, but that's why I mentioned the weekly open is the first sign of that, because we get above that $46,500 level where the weekly open is, I think it will be a no-brainer for Bitcoin to be able to get back to that $49,700 level, because we know there's major buy pressure here as well, because we know in this pocket we saw a lot of buy volume come in, and we're still seeing a lot of buy volume in these lower pockets. And so that just tells me that we're starting to see institutional accumulation. Smart money is coming in during this dip. The question is, how low will it go? 42,000 is a very important level. And so we want to monitor traditional markets. The DXY will affect the S&P 500. So far, we're just seeing sideways price action, low volume. Path of least resistance is always sideways to a little bit higher. Not much to talk about there, but gold did break out, as we've been talking about. That's been a very positive thing. And we have been monitoring this gold to Bitcoin chart. And when we invert this chart, notice here how right now on the daily chart, we are below this 100 period moving average. We were monitoring this before we even came below the 50 period. Now we're starting to see a direction chosen. More importantly, this 20-week moving average, notice how we're below home base. So this was an indicator of a top in 2017. And notice here in 2017 how this is where we topped out. We came below home base, and that started the unfortunate bear cycle for Bitcoin. But this is a very different market than it was in 2018. So that's why I'm very, very confident with some altcoins still. If we see this push down, just remember, this is only Bitcoin against gold. Bitcoin is not the only cryptocurrency. So let's just monitor this, but this is food for thought and a puzzle piece to leave you guys home with. And with that, I want to give back to you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I couldn't do this without you. If you want to win one of my favorite books on value investing principles by Ray Dalio, comment below and share this video. You'll have a chance to win. I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner from our video yesterday, and we will wrap up this video. Let's see here. We've got R. James says, Litecoin now added to Bitcoin for acceptance by the city of Wilstonson in North Dakota, USA. Also can shop with LTC Pay Shopify adoption. 47% of the online shops in the world can now use LTC Pay to accept Litecoin. I've seen a lot of places accept Litecoin. I think that some of these coins that have adoption already, like Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin, some of these legacy coins will always have a use case, especially if they have low fees. So R. James, send me a message on Instagram. Link is in the description below. Great comment and thoughts. And with that, once again, I appreciate each and every one of you snipers. Thank you for watching. Until next time, snipers out.